V and O, what you know? Yo, man, welcome to the V and O YouTube channel. The premise here is ordinary people with extraordinary stories. But what you also gonna find is the views and opinions, man. So you're gonna find conversation, you're gonna find inspiration, you're gonna find motivation. Yo, check us out, V and O, what you know?
But have you ever thought, what if this is all just a dream? And we're just waiting in line to wake up? And most people think I'm insane. Once you realize that all the shit you used to care so much about just keeps you a prisoner of your own mind.
V and O, V and O, what you know? What's up, man? Whew, you see the chairs. You see the chairs. Look, man. Oh, somebody gave me life, man. Oh, man. What do you do when life does not go your way? Oh, man, because that's been life. That's been life for me lately, man. What do I say? What do I say and what do I do when life doesn't go my way? Uh, if you guys noticed the pink ribbon added in on the poster for the coaches, just life happened, man. Games ran late. The coaches weren't able to make it. So, uh, but if you notice the pink ribbon on there, man, it's a breast cancer ribbon. And what do you do when life doesn't go your way? Uh, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she's taking it well, man. She's taking it well, and because she's taking it well, I'm able to take it well. But it's another thing in life that has happened, and what do I do when life doesn't go my way? What do I do? Well, life hasn't been going my way for quite a bit, man, and I kind of understand why, and I don't mind. It's fine, man. It's cool with me that life has not gone my way. That's fine with me, man, because I ask God that to help me form my mind and make over my mind, I guess I should say, because I wanted to be a millionaire. I'm just putting that out there, man. I want to, and it's not for the money; it's for the time. I saw things happening around me, man, and I was just working, 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 And so I'm like, man, money doesn't solve all problems, but money might solve this problem. It gives you a little bit of freedom with your time. And then things just started to happen uh, because I believe uh, I had things on the inside of me that needed to be changed in order for me to accomplish the goals that I had in life. And I will say this, man, for everything that didn't go my way, uh, things still, I can't complain, man. I can't complain. And I see growth in everything that's been happening. Oh, man. It's been a lot. It's been a lot, man. There's some days that I've just wanted that I just wanted to quit, like quit life, quit life. I can't lie, man. I can't lie. It's frustrating. It is. It will take a toll on you. Uh, if you have in your mind that you want things to go one way and they don't go that way, man, it could really take a toll on you, man. And I almost feel like on some days I feel like I shouldn't even have expectations. But what I'm learning is to expect what you want to happen, but also expect for everything that can possibly go wrong to go wrong. Because it does sometimes, man. It does. And lately in life, it seems like for me, man, it does a lot of times. But I understand it. I thank God that I understand it, man. I thank God that there are people, man, that I would never uh, expel from my life because God knows, man, that's hard for me, and God has done it for me. He's expelled certain people from my life, not because they're bad people, man. It's just that they didn't fit in well with what the goals that I had. And I find it. I love humans, man. Man. Sometimes you hate them, but I love human beings, man. And I want everybody to feel like they're worth something. So I always find it hard to either cut people off or just take them out of my life. And so I thank God, man, for like certain people have just fallen off, man. Certain people have showed me truly who they are, uh, and I can't lie, man. I still got love for some of those people, man. I still love them, but they didn't fit, and I thank God, man, for every person that was expelled from my life, that new people came in that cared. For the longest, I said that I wasn't heard, that I felt like I wasn't heard, that nobody was listening, which, man, listening is fundamental, but doggone it, man, like it's a lot of people, man, that just don't hear you. They just don't listen to you. You can tell them, I'm hungry, and they don't care. Like it's like they look you in your face, man, and they just don't hear you. I don't want to say they don't care. I think some people, man, just maybe they just don't understand. Uh, a lot of times, like life feels like for me, you tell say for instance, you tell somebody, hey man, I don't. It's not that I don't want to come to. They have an event, and it's not like I don't want to come to your event. I just don't have the time to. And in my life, man, it's like those people will look at me in the face and they'll say, okay, so what time are you gonna be there? And I'm just like, didn't this person just hear me, man? That's how I feel, man. That's how I feel at times. At times. Uh, and then things are happening too. Man, it's been a journey, man. I know I'm talking around a lot, man, but I'm just trying to throw my heart out there, man, because that's what I do. It's been a lot. I got in a I don't even know if I should be putting this out there, man, but I really don't care. I got in a car accident a couple weeks ago. With everything that's been going on with divorce, just trying to keep my mind right with that, which I haven't been. But yeah, Sonia, yeah, it's like it's like they speak a different language. Some people's language is just what I want. If you ain't saying something about something that I want, I don't hear you. But yeah, you are right, and thank you, Sonia, for always checking in with me and watching and commenting, engaging. Appreciate you. My homegirl talking about not being heard, man. Thank you, Tiffany. Good evening. Talking about good people that God brought in your life, man. That you have made me feel heard. Thank you so much for being you. Ha! I wasn't prepared for this one, man. Where was I going with this? Uh, oh, I got in a car accident. Got in a car accident, man. With everything that's been going on, man, I didn't realize that I did not switch my insurance over uh, from my old car. Got rid of my old car. I actually traded it in. There's a whole story about that. Traded it in. It wasn't in my possession, and yeah, I mean, I got in a car accident, and the people at my insurance company were when I asked them, like, man, is there anything you can do? They were very adamant that it wasn't anything they can do, and they were also very adamant that we're not going to do anything for you. Shout out to American Family Insurance. Uh, but yeah, man, it's my fault, man. I take that on the chin. I take that on the chin. The good part is, man, and why I feel blessed is that the person that that I got in a car accident with, man, he was just full of grace, man, and he worked with me. He worked with me, and situation's not fully over, but it's close to being over. But man, that's just one of those things, man, that it could have been because of something I did. Uh, it could have been detrimental, and who knows, man? Who knows where it's gonna go? But anyway, this guy was just a great guy, man. Uh, he was cool, man. He trusted me when he didn't have to, and he really just grace, man. He showed grace, and and yeah, man, like that's kind of where God has me, man. Where things are happening, but at the same time, man, as things are happening, things aren't as bad as they possibly could be. So this isn't me being sad. This is me talking through a lot of these issues, man. And like I also do take accountability for the things that are my fault, man. And that's I did a whole show about making decisions and how one bad decision can turn into a whole bunch of other like instances in your life that can change the direction of your life. And man, not switching over my insurance was a bad decision. I mean, it's not like I was paying for it. Matter of fact, I was paying more for, for my old car than I would have been for my new car, and it wasn't in my possession. So I thought I fully had insurance. I had the insurance card in my car. It just wasn't for that car. So whatever, man. Uh, like I said, for all the bad things that happened, a lot of good. For all the bad things that happen, man, I do see the good things that come out of that. They aren't totally bad. They aren't as bad as they could be. And yeah, man, that's kind of where I'm at, man. Uh, Divorce, man. It, I don't. I'm not even all the way there yet. But if you've never been through it, man, it is not for the faint of heart. Especially if you don't hate people. Like you sometimes you want to hate them, but it's hard, man. It's hard. It's so many nuances, things that you wouldn't think about, that you wouldn't necessarily think that you would ponder on, things that could possibly affect your mind, affect your heart. Some people, man, they make it through because they really didn't care in the first place. You know, they're fine. Uh, but it's affected me, man. I was married for 20 years, and yeah, man, what has to happen has to happen. How about that? I'll just say it like that. What has to happen has to happen. And no takebacks, man. There's no takebacks in life. So I'm not trying to take anything back. Uh, I believe that my life will go on, and that I'll be okay. And but man, it's still it's still hard, man. It's still hard. I heard a message in church one time talking about I forget the name of the message, but it was something about being, you're right, you're in between. So it was about, the message was about David, about him knowing that he's anointed, but just not being able to be king yet. So you just kind of out here. You floating, you're learning lessons that you can use while you're king, man. But just being in limbo, it's just kind of, it sucks, man. It's hard, and that's kind of where I find myself, man. And it's kind of kicked me in somewhat of a survival mode, which is not good to linger in survival mode. Uh, yeah, Sonia compared divorce to death, and she was right. Yeah, it is. It's not necessarily the death of a person; it's the death of what could have been, what should have been. It's the death of certain relationships. Maybe people that you once spent time with and that you enjoy spending time with. Maybe you don't spend time, where you're not even able to. Those people don't even want to talk to you anymore. That's not. I don't think that's necessarily my case, man. And where I'm at in my life, man. If you don't want to talk to me, that's cool, bro. that's I'm straight, man. I'm good. I'll probably be good. Uh, but but yeah, it is like a death, and then you have the emotions of you have guilt. There is guilt. There is anger. There is blame, if you let that be a part of it. Regret, regret, maybe. I mean, I don't really live on regret, because I don't believe in takebacks, man. I believe that everything that has happened to a person, whether good or bad, that makes you out to be the person that you are, and you can't take that back. You can't reform that. You can't. Uh, there are no takebacks. The person that I am, I'm okay with the person that I am, man, because I know what's in my heart. But you can't. I can't. My experiences have made me the person that I am, so I can't take it back. I can't take back anything. Uh, all this started out. If you look at my podcast first episode, uh, my transformation kind of began when my house got shot at. Like, yeah, man, it's like, still, bro, that's still like hard to believe. That's still hard to believe, but I believe, man, that happened for a reason. Uh, and it just kind of rolled down a series of events in my life that kind of led up to, I would say, that led up to divorce. Whether the other half would agree with me or not, but that, I believe, that led up to divorce. It opened my eyes a lot to people. Man, Tiffany, thank you. I appreciate you. I really do. I really do appreciate you. You know how I feel about you. You are just a great, very lovable person, man. And I thank God for you, because, yo, man, let me roll down that list. I thank God for you. I thank God for my buddy Aaron, my mom. Man, I called my mom the other day, and I was supposed to be encouraging her, because she just had her chemo treatment, and she was helping me out, encouraging me. Shout out to you, man, my sister, man, who's been strong, strong, strong for years now, despite the things that she's going through. And if she only knew how it weighed on my heart and how I feel helpless. I'm sure she feels helpless, but man, I really feel helpless when it comes to her. I like to fix things. I'm in construction, and I believe I got into that field for a reason. I really do like to. If Don't bring me a problem if you don't want me to bring you a solution. But sometimes you can't, man, and sometimes you just got to deal with the pain. Uh, Shout out to, you know what, man? Shout out to my boss. Shout out to my boss at work, man, because I hear some ugly stories about people, managers and supervisors and people's bosses, man. I cannot, like, I'm sure he probably won't watch this or be watching it, man. But man, you want to talk about a cat that he just kind of leaves me alone, man, and lets me do my thing as long as I'm doing it well. I don't even see him that often, but every time I talk to him, man, he has a heart. You could tell he has a heart, man, and the things that I kind of share with him, what I might be going through in life, just in case you catch me slipping, and I and you're like, man, what's wrong with him? I want him to know, and man, he has been great, man. As far as bosses go, man, he has been just a real upstanding, great person, man. Shout out to him. He was on my side when some terrible people really showed who they were. Uh, Showed who they were, man. And man, shout out to God, man, for showing me, man, those people that's just not right. Uh, just let them hurt me one last time before they exit. That's basically what happened, man. A lot of people, man, they get that last hit in, and then he allows them to be gone, man. He opens my eyes, and I can move on. But yeah, man, I thank God that he has. I thank God that he has shown me those people, man, and he's allowed me to see them. It's not like I never really saw people before. And Tiffany, me and you talk about this a lot, seeing people for who they are, but we are Mr. and Mrs. Benefit of the doubt, man. Uh, I think Dennis too, man. All of us, I think Aries, man. I don't know, but we see who people are. We give them the benefit of the doubt, and we give them actually other opportunities to get another one in. And I'm learning, man. I'm learning you don't have to be ugly about it. You don't have to scream and yell. You just exit. You just leave. You just quietly step to the side. Now, some people, they won't take that, man. They'll follow you and torment you. So sometimes, man, you got to put your foot down and fight back and let them know, hey, I'm done with you, bro, sis, ma'am, sir, I'm done with you. Please just leave me alone. And if they don't get that picture, sometimes you have to be a little bit forceful. And I don't do well at being evil. Some people do. I don't necessarily want to call it being evil, but being on the offensive against human beings. I really don't, man. Uh, I just don't do well with that. Some people do. They can, if somebody strikes them, they strike back easily. And I don't do well with that. And sometimes it comes back to hurt me, man. And I know, like, that's a lesson I believe that also I'm learning in life is that sometimes you just gotta, man. Sometimes you just have to. Some people just will not leave you alone. My grandmother used to tell me all the time, uh, is it being evil? Call it what it is, right? It's not necessarily being evil. You're right. It's not being evil. I'm not good with hitting back because if you hit me, like my automatic reaction is not to come back at you. My automatic reaction is to man, let me just, I'll give them grace on that one. Let me see if they're gonna hit me again. Uh, and man, that's so frustrating. It's been frustrating, but you learn, man. You live and you learn. You live and you learn. I should have learned this lesson a long time ago. I'm 40 years old. I should have learned this lesson. But you live and you learn, man. My grandmother, I was saying, always told me, if somebody hits you, hit them back. And even when she told me that, man, it was always hard for me to do that, to just to open myself up to hurt another human being, regardless whether they hurt me or not. Uh, that's always been hard for me, and I'm dealing with the consequences of not hitting back now. You know what I mean? A lot now in my life, man. And so I'm learning. I'm learning that you don't have to hit hard, man. You just gotta push back. They push you, you push them back. Now, don't get me wrong, man. Verbally, I'm learning that you just got to let people know. But sometimes, man, people hit really hard, and I just can't match blow for blow, man. That's just that's not me. That's not me. Uh, But I'm learning. I'm learning, man, and I thank God for these lessons. And I believe that these lessons are working perfection, and that the person that I want and need to be, that I will be that person very soon. Because God knows, man, I'm always. She said, just stun him, just stun him a little bit. It's just give him a quick one, right? Yeah, yeah. I've learned that I can get a quick ones, but it's like, man, when people they hit you, you hit them, and then they come back and hit you like you was the one that started it, and you like, bro, can you just chill? Like straight up, man, I don't want to give you this fatal blow. I don't want to come back here, man, and bust you in your face. I just don't want to. I don't want to, but some people will take you there. And in life, man, you just got to learn. You got to learn uh, how to come back at people, man. And I'm learning. Like I said, I'm learning, man, because I've been dealt some very, very hard blows of people that I think knew that oh, he don't hit back, and so they think they in the clear. But I'm learning. I'm learning. You're not quite in the clear. Uh, Especially if you can't just I'm learning to protect myself where you're not just going to hit me and then roll off, especially hit me in certain areas, man, and just walk away like nothing happened. Nah, no, I can't really do that. Not no more. So yeah, yeah. But yeah, man, I still thank God for these lessons, man, and I do believe that it's working a perfection in me. You are right, Sonia. He does not forget. He does not forget. God does not forget, man. And he does remember. He does remember. And I thank God for that, man. I thank God that God remembers the good and don't really remember the bad. Because man, I haven't been perfect. I'm not sitting here talking like I am perfect. I really haven't been perfect. I can say that I just don't go around, regardless of what anybody thinks. I don't go intentionally hurting people. If I walk with a limp, and people that walk with a limp hurt you, you cannot come to me and say you're hurting me and you did it intentionally. I didn't do it intentionally. If that's just how I walk, you know what I mean? Like I'm not, I'm not doing it intentionally. I also do know that when you do know that you're going around hurting people, that sometimes you have to change, man. And some people, man, we live in a society where some people just hurt for no reason at all. None. They just they want you to call them by a certain name, and if you miss a letter in their name, then they mad at you. People just walking around mad, man. And I just refuse. I cannot be somebody walking around mad, bro. I am a happy person, man, and I wish to spread joy, and I wish to keep this smile on my face, straight up. Despite I'm still living, man. I'm still alive, and I count my blessings, man. I'm not sick. Uh, Health is good. And sometimes you just got to hold on to that. I got a job, you know what I'm saying? Like I said before, man, my boss is not an a-hole, so I'm holding on to it, man. I'm holding on to every good thing, to every good person uh, that has come in my life. I was going down that list, man. There's been so many just good and gracious people, man, that really do care. And that I have met, man, because it was a time in my life, man. I think I was surrounded by people that really just didn't care. It just they didn't care, man. Everybody got something going on, but I think I was surrounded by a lot of people, man, that really talking about good people. What's up? Get this D. D Smith from the Shop Talk 7 podcast, man. I appreciate you, bro. Y'all go check out my talk that I had with him last week, man. You want to talk about a dope individual, man, and somebody that I thank God that is coming to my life, bro. Just a real cat, man. I'm just looking for realness, and that's what you were, man. You just real. I appreciate you. Uh, but yeah, man, it's been a lot of good people, man, that have come. that God has brought into my life. And like I said, man, I thank God that he took those people away that didn't mean me any good. Because like I said, I was surrounded by, it felt like people that, man, if they could get that mile out you, they're gonna take it. They're gonna take it, man. And like I said, I'd rather do human beings right. And some of them, man, I think some people, I'm not stupid, man. I'm not stupid. I seen you all day. I saw you all day, and despite seeing you, I chose to treat you like you were a decent human being. It's a lot of people, man, that despite seeing who you were from jump, man, I still decided to treat you as a decent human being. Now, the lesson that I've learned in that is I treat you like a decent human being, but you got to go. I'm not, no, we can't hang out. No, we can't kick it. No, you can't come over. None of that. No, you can't be in my space. If you call, I probably won't answer the phone. I haven't blocked too many of anybody yet, man, but I'm about to start blocking people too. Just put you on that list, man. Not to be mean, just I cannot afford in the things that I'm trying to do in life to have somebody to build myself up just to have people suck that back out of me. No hate, no hate. I just can't do it. Can't afford it. Not where I'm going, man. Somebody need me. Somebody needs the person that I am and the person that I'm trying to be. Somebody needs me, so I can't let you mess that up for them. I know my heart, and I know what's in it, and and I know how I feel about people, especially those that I love. And and if you, whether I love you or not, man, if you mean to mess that up for me or mean to mess it up for the next person coming behind you, I can't do it, man. I can't do it. And that'll cause, for a person like me, that'll cause yeah, you can't have bad energy around. You got to protect your space, time, and energy. And really the reason behind that, man, is some toxic people, man, that they want to protect their space, time, and energy because they selfish. I want to protect my face time. I mean, my space, time, and energy because I want to be able to give that to somebody that deserves it. So if I let you, Mr. and Mrs. Toxic, mess that up, then I can't give it to the person that deserves it. If I've treated you right and you decided that you was having a bad day and you want to be ugly with me, you got to go, G. You got to go, man. Uh, if you've tried to take advantage of me, man, you got to go. You got to go. And I seen you. I knew you was a person that took advantage of people. I knew you was ugly on the inside, and I still allowed you to stay around. And that's my fault. That's my fault for that. And from now on, man, I'm trying to help and do things, man. Help people and do things, and I don't have any room for you anymore. I think I had this show before. Uh, That's right, man. Dennis said I do so that I can give good energy out to others. That's right, man. Bro, have you ever been in a room with people that have just sucked that right out of you, man? Or people that, I know you're a good person, man. Have you ever been in a room with somebody that tried to make you feel like you was a terrible person? Bro, if anybody in your life, Sonia, if anybody in your life, Tiffany, if anybody in your life is sitting around trying to make y'all feel like terrible people, get rid of them because y'all not, man. Y'all not. Sonia, I don't know you that well, but I could tell. I could see your spirit. Uh, Tiffany, you know what it is. The Ingram. Dennis, you know what it is, man. Just you straight up. And if anybody, and if you know that you're a good person, man, and you know that you do well by people, and people turn around and they wish to like just treat you like trash, man, get rid of them, man. It's let trashy people trash people. Let them trash trashy people. Let them all hang out together, man. And the people that deserve us, man, we gonna do right by them and help those people. And outside of that, man, just keep being you, man. Just keep being you. I'm waiting on the coaches are actually supposed to be coming. That was one of the things that happened. Like I said, the game ran late and I set up the show and everything. And then it got to be like, I don't know what I'm going to say. But I was like, why don't I just talk about life? Why don't I just talk about life, man, and the things that possible things that could happen, man. I don't know if I ever told a story. It's story time, man. I'm always down for a good story, but it was before this was years ago, man. I almost died at work. I'm laughing about it, but straight up, like I almost crushed myself and died. Uh, Anybody that doesn't know, I'm a iron worker, which you could look that up, man. I want to say it's top 10, probably most dangerous professions, and it's not a lie, bro. It is. Yeah, Tiffany, never told you that one. Yeah, I almost died. Almost died. Uh, but yeah, it is, man. It is top 10 G most uh, top 10 most dangerous professions. And so what was happening was I anybody that doesn't know what an iron worker is, I don't work at the steel mill. We erect steel. Pause, no homo. But we erect steel. And so I work in Chicago. So I erect ornamental steel, ornamental iron, and sometimes bigger steel uh, on high rises in Chicago. Sometimes low rises, sometimes high rises. In particular time, I was on a high rise, and how do I describe this? I was on the 48th floor, but I was working on the 49th floor. So I was in what you call a scissor lift that pushes you. It goes in and out. So it's scissors. It's like the lift that you would see in like the grocery store that they do. You might see a lift that they're driving down the aisle. Those are usually smaller scissor lifts. This is a bigger scissor lift. So the 49th floor was fully enclosed. It was a mechanical floor, fully enclosed in concrete. But on the outside area of the floor, we had to land these steel columns. Uh, so the columns went from the 49th floor up to the roof, which I think was like 51. So 50 or 51, they were pretty tall. And so I was on the bottom, and it was a Sunday. It was a Sunday, a Saturday or Sunday. It was a Sunday. It was a Sunday we were working. We had to get it done. When you're working on a Sunday, man, you union iron worker, you know you got to get it done. So we had to get it done. It was a lot going on the roof. It was a lot of welding and steel setting going on the roof. And so nobody was down on the 48th floor with me. How do I describe this for people that don't know? So the building was an oval. There were safety cables going around the building to keep you from falling off the building, but those were not in an oval. Those were in a square. So you have an oval with a square. I'm driving this lift inside of the safety cable. I would take the lift up, push it out to the outside of the building, and then I would take the lift all the way up and pin it against the 48th floor, and I was working on the 49th floor. So here's the 48th floor down here. Here's the slab. The slab is about a foot thick, and I'm working on the 49th floor. Like I said, we were landing these columns, steel columns, all around the building, and I had to uh, just drive the lift, and I would drive it. I kind of knew where each one would get landed at, uh, but like I said, there's a square inside of an oval, so there were places on that oval. Let's say on the side of the oval, as I drove the lift to the safety cable and boomed out. When I pushed the lift all the way out and pushed it all the way up, I had a lot of room between the concrete slab and my body. And then there were places that I drove the lift up to the safety cable. And once I pushed it out and went up, it was a little tight. The concrete slab was a little tight against my chest. So the way this lift pushed out was it was two buttons on the end of the lift, and you had to pull those two buttons down, and the lift would push out. There was a lever that you would take the lift up with. Say I'm standing and I'm looking at the edge of the lift, the two buttons are right here. The lever would be behind me. And so use the lever to go up and down, the two buttons to push the lift out. So it was one of those tight spaces. I got on a harness because once I pushed the lift out, if I look down, I'm looking down at the ground. So 48 stories straight down. So I get to one of those tight places, drive up to the safety cable, take the lift up, push the lift out, and I was bigger then too, so I had to finagle my way out there. And a lot of what I was doing was I was checking to make sure I was in the right place, and then I would duck back in and hit the stop button, the emergency stop button. Well, this particular time, I ain't make it to hit the emergency stop button. So when I got out to check to see where I was at, when I went to go dip back down, my harness that I was wearing, the backside of it caught them two buttons, and it sucked the lift in just a little bit, just enough to freak me out. And then I really couldn't move. So I'm trying to move. I got the concrete slab buried in my chest. And then I tried to I tried to do it again. Came down, hit the two buttons, concrete slab went deeper in my chest. Long story short, long story short, that concrete slab was so far into my chest that I couldn't breathe. Uh, and so I'm trying to, it was like some, what do they call it, man? Not Faces of Death. uh Final Destination. Like it felt like it wasn't even real, man. This is a construction site. First of all, I'm screaming and there's nobody around. I got to the point where I started screaming help. And there's no, usually it's trades, it's plumbers, is carpenters, all kinds of people working on the floor that you own. There was nobody down there. Like I said, man, that column at the top on the roof, everybody else was on the roof. If you've never been downtown or any place where buildings are around, if you scream, you can hear your voice bouncing off the buildings. There's a lot of closed buildings. So what I can also hear was it was about 5, 6, 7 welders on the roof going. So it's like a generator going, a bunch of generators going. But I could hear them talking on the roof. I could hear them having conversations. I could hear it's all bouncing off the buildings. And they can't hear me screaming though, which was it was scary, man. That was freaky that I could hear them having a conversation, but they couldn't hear me scream and help. Uh, so I screamed help for about 5 minutes, and apparently I can breathe if I'm screaming help. So I still had a little bit, and then I was like, man, let me try one more time. I went to go dip down, and man, it sucked in all the way. And then I just looked. I was like, I'm about to die. I can't breathe. I threw my arms out and I laid down. I just laid my back across the lift, and then the thing sucked in just a little bit more, and I felt like I was about to pass out, and I couldn't breathe. I was being suffocated because this concrete slab, as the lift pushed in on my back, it pushed me into this concrete slab, and I was suffocating. I couldn't breathe. Uh, So if you ever been any big city under construction, you see the tower cranes. The big cranes is on the top of these buildings. So I could see the tower crane operator, but he couldn't see me. So I'm laying down because we're at the top of the building. As I lay out, I'm looking up and I could see him, but he couldn't see me. I couldn't scream no more because I couldn't breathe anymore. And all of a sudden, his crane came around, and then I heard him say, uh, over the box. That's how you communicate with those cranes. It's a big box. You talk into the box, he could hear you up in his cab. So I heard him. You could also hear him as it's a big like speaker box. So I heard him say, hey guys, there's something wrong with your guy downstairs. And then I heard them say, there is nobody downstairs. Because uh, side story, lifting a piece of a 20 to 30 foot long 5,000 pound piece of steel from the ground to the 48th floor, it takes a while. And also, I would say maybe like 2 or 3 of them fit on a semi truck. So the guys on the ground pull in a semi truck, they bring up one, they bring up two, they bring up three. We set those three. This other truck is pulling off. He's waiting for another truck. So really, I was just sitting out there. I don't know if they hadn't pulled another truck. It had been a while. So I understand why they forgot that I was down there. But yeah, I could hear them say, bro, you want to talk about some freaky stuff. I could literally hear them say, like, oh, there's nobody downstairs while I was dying. While I was dying on the 48th floor, everybody upstairs was like, yeah, nobody's down there. And he was adamant. Thank God, man. Daryl, shout out to you, man. That was the crane operator. But he was like, no, man. He said this dude is like, he looked like he passed out or something. They were like, and then I heard them say, who's down there? Then I heard I could distinctively hear, I think my buddy Mike was like, hey man, Ron's down there. And then it was silence. everybody came. I guess they ran down the stairs. Now, mind you, like I already felt like I was losing consciousness. So I still, even though they were like, yeah, they was on their way down, it still felt like forever for them to make it from 50 down to the floor I was on. 49 is a tall floor. So it's a couple flights of stairs to get through 49. And then they had to go down, get to 48, and then run over by me. So then I finally I could hear them talking, and they were like, how do you bring the lift down? They were just going to bring the lift down. And they were trying, I could feel them fumbling. Somebody was moving the lift. I already can't breathe. And they moving the lift back and forth, and I'm going into the slab. And then, uh, yeah, and I live, man. They of course I live, but yeah, my buddy, I forget who came up there either. I forget who came up there, man, but they got up in the basket with me and they let the lift down. And sure enough, man, I had a big like bruise across my chest and my stomach where where that slab was in my chest. And somehow, man, I told myself I didn't almost suffocate and die because it's just the weirdest way to die. Like I could still breathe, but just I think I might have died from like oxygen deprivation because I wasn't breathing enough. Uh, Yo, did I really say that? Oh man, I didn't know I said that. He said pause. But yeah, man, no doubt. I uh I almost died. Why did I tell that story? Well, because man, I think about instances like that all the time. I think about and I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful for the bad things that happen or the things that don't go my way. Uh I almost died, man. House got shot at. Nobody died. Nobody got shot. Uh, a lot of other things, man. A lot of almost, a lot of almost. And man, I count my blessings, man. This is not me sitting here like, oh no, woe is me. It's a lot of bad things going on in life. I'm going through a divorce. Got family that's not healthy, and this and that. Hey, man, straight up, this is just me speaking my life, man, and I'm speaking my life just to say, like, yo, I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful. Dennis, man, I believe that. I really do. I really do believe that, man. Uh, I really do. Uh, yeah, I can laugh about it now. Crazy thing is, man, so you won't hear me say too many words like this. I'm only repeating something that somebody else said, but uh, this is how crazy. First of all, man, you got to be crazy to be an iron worker, and you really do. So with you being crazy, uh, it's a lot of cats, man. I think they just not right. It's a couple screws loose, man. I've always been kind of adventurous, so it hasn't always bothered me. There's been times that it's bothered me, but so that was Sunday. The next day on Monday, I had a buddy that came in. I'm just repeating what he said. He said, "I heard your dumb ass almost died." But that's ironworkers for you, man. We laughed about it, and I got on with it. And I don't bring it up too often, but I tell you what, man, I do remember. I do remember it. She said, "Hey, man, I can't fight you on that. I'm not. I'm really not, man. I'm really not gonna fight you and say no, Dennis. I know, man. I do. Sometimes I do things and then just think about them later. But I've been an ironworker for 20 years, man, and like, yo, I, I think it might be a learned habit to just do things and think about them later because, like, I think I trust my subconscious a lot with things. So I just don't believe that. I think, man, we all get like that little feeling when you notice that you're doing something real stupid that could possibly put your life in danger. I didn't when I almost got killed by that lift, but yeah, uh, yeah, man, I do. I might not be wrapped too tight. I don't know, but you know what, man, it works in my favor because like it's a lot of people, man, that just go and I believe in doing. I believe in doing. Sometimes I think too much, but I really do believe in doing. But yeah, man, we had a good laugh about me almost dying, and we moved on with life. Because I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't die, and I like that. I like to remain lighthearted about things like that, man. If you start thinking about it too much, then you will be walking around uh, uh, rubbing yourself. You know what I'm saying? Talking about woe is me, but ain't no woe is me, man. I'm here. I'm strong. I'm healthy, and life ain't going like I want it to go. But yo, it's still going. It's going. Uh, I don't know what's going on. Okay, all right. Yeah, stuff like this too. All right. At any rate, look, man. Thank y'all, man. Y'all have been troopers. Y'all have been super dope, man. Thank you for watching me rant and rave and ramble. Do that. Thank y'all for listening to me rant, rave, and ramble, man. But it hasn't been the best show, man. But it feels good for me to get sometimes just get things off my chest. I was waiting for the coaches. Don't look like it's gonna happen. So I got to get up at 3:30 in the morning. So I'm not gonna hang around for too much longer, man. Hey, life is life, man. Uh, good things happening, man. These coaches are coming through because V&O Productions is in full force, man. I am producing a podcast for Gary Steeler's 9 and under football team. The name of it is The Practice. Yo, it's dope, man. It's dope. I'm learning so much about these kids, man. And I went and I did a podcast for them today, trying to get all of the editing is not easy. So I'm trying to get all of the footage that I'm getting of these kids together so that we can make full episodes out of it. But man, I tell you what, man, these kids are dedicated. These kids are tough. Don't let nobody tell you about the G, man. Talking about like, all the bad things happening in Gary Rogues. I seen a whole lot of good uh, happening with the Gary Steelers Pee Wee Football League, man. These are some disciplined, dedicated kids, man. These little kids went and beat. I forgot which team it was, man. I forgot which team it was, but they the 9 and under team, man, just walked these kids, man, 33-0. And everything as I watched their practice that coach had them working on, they performed, man. They performed, man. And these kids are great, man. Y'all look out for that. It's called V&O The Practice. It is Pee Wee football, Pee Wee football, man. And these kids are so excited that they have a podcast, and I'm excited that I'm able to do it for them. Yeah, man, I don't have no time. I don't have no time. But I'll make it for that, man. You see positivity going on, man. GI stand up, man, because we ain't done, man. Shout out to Gary's mayor, Eddie Melton, man. I used to go to church with Mayor Melton. I don't know if he is he mayor yet, but man, I know that he's something good is coming back to the city of Gary, man. And I tell you what, man, if you wanna feel good, go to a Gary Steelers Pee Wee football game, man. These kids are vibrant, man. They full of energy, man. And don't believe the hype, man. That all these kids out here in Gary is bad kids. That all you see in Gary, man, is murder and robbery and all of that, man. It's good people in Gary, man. Of course, they're gonna highlight the negativity. GI stand up, man. Everybody showed up, man. These people are dedicated. They act like there's no dedication left in Gary. Please, man. These kids are playing at Westside Stadium on Saturdays, man. They also have a Facebook page. Go and follow their Facebook page, man. Uh, just great kids, man. Great kids. They are excited, and look out for that podcast. I'm about to get out of here, man. Got to get up in the morning. Hey, V&O, thank y'all, man. I appreciate you. V&O, what you know? Yo, man, V&O, what you know? Yo, man, welcome to the V&O YouTube channel. The premise here is ordinary people with extraordinary stories. But what you also gonna find is the views and opinions, man. So you're gonna find conversation, you're gonna find inspiration, you're gonna find motivation. Yo,
Check us out, VNO, what you know.
But have you ever thought, what if this is all just a dream? And we're just waiting in line to wake up? And most people think I'm insane. Once you realize that all the shit you used to care so much about just keeps you a prisoner of your own mind.